India is set to become the first foreign country to manufacture the American Stryker Armoured Combat Vehicles. This is a sign of growing military-to-military cooperation between India and USA, a United Nations Security Council permanent member nation. India-US Stryker agreement is also bad news for India's regional rivals, Pakistan and China, who had been praying for a rift in the growing India-US alliance. According to reports, Indian Defence Ministry is considering the procurement of 530 Stryker combat vehicles to modernize 10 mechanized infantry battalions. Along with the Stryker, India and USA have also reached an agreement to jointly manufacture anti-submarine sonobuoys, which will help the Indian Navy track any Pakistani or Chinese submarine activity in the vast expanse of the Indian Ocean region. The Stryker are widely regarded as the best military combat vehicles in the world, with a range of over 480 kilometers along with a top speed of 100 kilometers per hour. Capable of transporting 8 to 10 troops at a time, the Stryker are armed with a rocket launcher, Javelin anti-tank guided missiles, and a light machine gun for offensive purposes. They are also equipped with M-SHORAD or Mobile Short-Range Air Defense System to protect the vehicle from drones or enemy projectiles. With the help of its bolt-on ceramic armor, these vehicles can withstand any improvised explosive device or IEDs. Powered by a C-7 Caterpillar engine, the Stryker will enable the Indian Army to deploy its troops to the front line even during heavy combat, either along the LAC with China in Ladakh or Sikkim. The Stryker will also give Indian military a distinct advantage over Pakistan Army along the ever-volatile LOC. The American Stryker will modernize India's mechanized infantry units and help phase out the Russian BMP-2 combat vehicles, which New Delhi started procuring back in the 1980s. The Stryker can be transported via heavy-lift Chinook helicopters, which the Indian Air Force also operates. They can also be loaded on and transported via C-130 Hercules transport aircraft or the C-17 Globemaster, which are also operated by the Indian Air Force. According to initial reports, India will acquire the Stryker by General Dynamics in 3 phases. The first involves a limited off-the-shelf order, followed by setting up of a production line in India, while the option of Made in India Stryker being exported to third nations has also not been ruled out. US National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan announced the deal during his recent visit to India, saying, quote, "So many of these initiatives have the potential to extend beyond the United States and India to eventually help countries across the Indo-Pacific region upgrade the defensive capabilities as well." Apart from the US military, the Stryker vehicles have also been used by Ukraine during the war against Russia, while the Thai army also uses these combat vehicles. They are known for their ability to move troops to the front line in relative safety, helping either mount an offensive or just a change of guard. The joint production of the Stryker vehicles in India will also propel the country as a top manufacturer of combat vehicles in the world, with Tata also manufacturing the WAP or the Wheeled Armoured Platform, which is already making waves in Africa, with Morocco procuring these Indian-origin military vehicles. Now, the Indian Army carried out rigorous tests of the Stryker vehicles in the harsh climate and terrain of Ladakh, the world's highest battlefield. The Stryker comes in various configurations, including mobile gun systems, infantry carrier vehicles, reconnaissance vehicles, as well as medical evacuation vehicles. Now, these vehicles first saw action more than 20 years ago during the Operation Iraq Freedom II, and since then they have been part of all major US military operations around the world. Nearly 5,000 Stryker vehicles are already in active use, with the US Army being the primary customer. However, the only drawback is that the Stryker is not an amphibious vehicle, which means it may need conventional or modular bridges to cross water bodies. On the other hand, the indigenous WAP by DRDO and Tata is an amphibious vehicle, but it remains to be seen if the Indian military would procure the WAP in numbers to complement the Stryker vehicle. The Stryker is just the latest platform in the growing list of India-US military collaborations. Indian military already operates the American Apache helicopters, military transport aircraft like the Globemaster, heavy lift choppers like Chinook, maritime patrol aircraft including the Poseidon. Meanwhile, the US is expected to complete the deliveries of the Seahawk anti-submarine helicopters this year to the Indian Navy, while India has also sealed the deal to procure 31 Predator combat drones from Washington for 24 surveillance of its vast borders. United States has emerged as the third biggest source of defense equipment for India, only behind Russia and France. The only setback in this growing alliance has been the near 2-year delay for GE F404 engines for the LCA Tejas NK-1A fighter jets. However, the deliveries are finally expected to begin in March or April this year. The big question remains, can India trust America as a long-term military ally? Leave a comment with your opinion, hit the like button and subscribe to Inconnect News.